It was a crisp December evening in London. The iconic arches and domes of Royal Albert Hall glowed under floodlights, a silent witness to what would become a historic night. A night that belonged to a rising star whose journey had spanned continents, resilience, and dreams. Inside, the most influential names in fashion, art, and culture gathered under vaulted ceilings and crystal chandeliers, each waiting for the moment the lights would rise and shine on the new face of the year. The crowd hushed as the announcement came. Anok Yai, Model of the Year 2025. The hush turned into a gasp, then applause that rippled through the hall. Cameras flashed, phones raised, and there she was walking toward the stage, every step a statement, every breath a reclaiming. She wore a custom gown by Dilara Findikoglu, white and ivory satin shaped to her like a second skin. The corset was sculpted, its boning defined. The skirt fell into a dramatic mermaid silhouette, its folds draped and decadent, trailing into a ruffled train that whispered of vintage glamour and modern power. Lace and crushed velvet gave texture and depth, while diamond drop earrings and a sleek, blunt bob with bangs framed her face, ethereal, bold, unforgettable. As she moved through the red carpet, cameras followed. Every angle captured a quiet confidence, a presence, a woman who knew exactly who she was and what she represented. Around her, the night felt electric. Every flashbulb a spotlight not just on her beauty, but on what she stood for. When she stepped on stage, her speech carried the weight of her story. She spoke not only for herself, but for everyone who had ever felt invisible. To all my little black girls watching me right now, your color is not a curse, she said, her voice steady and clear. For a moment, there was no glamour, only truth, power, and solidarity. The room erupted. Tears, applause, recognition. For many, it felt long overdue. Because Anok's journey wasn't defined solely by this night. This was a crowning of years of persistence, talent, and trailblazing. Behind the scenes, anticipation had built for months. The awarding body, British Fashion Council, BFC, had publicly named her the 2025 Model of the Year weeks earlier, praising what she had achieved. Not just through campaigns and runways, but as a cultural symbol reshaping what fashion standards could be. This year alone, she had fronted editorials and campaigns for the world's most revered fashion houses, from Versace to Alaïa, Saint Laurent to Mugler, cementing her place among the industry's elite. She had also been credited as creative director for a shoot in Perfect magazine, a signal of her growing influence beyond modeling into the realm of vision, art, and representation. But tonight, none of that was spotlighted individually. Instead, in one moment, all of it, the runways, the campaigns, the covers, the late nights, the backlash, the self-doubt, it all converged. On that stage, under those lights in London, a star didn't just shine. She ascended. As she accepted the award, her posture was regal but humble. Her eyes swept across the crowd. Fellow models, designers, photographers, dreamers. She recognized them, and their applause was recognition, not just of success, but of change, of inclusion, of transformation. The celebration continued after the applause. Champagne clinks, whispers in velvet-lit hallways, joyous embraces and backslaps. But for Anok, the moment meant something deeper. It was a milestone and a message, a statement that beauty could belong to all hues, all histories, all stories. That representation wasn't a trend, it was a necessity. As the night wound down and the crowds dispersed into London's cool air, the legacy of the evening lingered. The cameras may have stopped flashing, but the image of Anok in that gown, poised, regal, fearless, would be etched in memory. For young dreamers, looking for someone who looked like them. For the fashion world reimagining its foundations. For history, because this wasn't just a win. It was a shift, a moment when the spotlight turned not only on what fashion is, but what it can become. In the years leading up to the night that would belong to Anok Yai, the Model of the Year honor had been carried by a remarkable lineage of trailblazers, each one reshaping the industry, each one pushing fashion into a new era. Their victories formed a chain of transformation, a momentum that built toward a shift the world didn't yet know was coming. Before Anok stepped into her spotlight, another rising force held the crown. Alex Consani, with her fearless edge and unwavering individuality, electrified the fashion world. Designers gravitated toward her energy, explosive, unapologetic, and unmistakably now. Her win marked a cultural pivot, a generation of models who didn't soften themselves for the industry, but asked the industry to expand for them. She represented the new guard, loud, proud, and rewriting the rules in real time. Just before that, Paloma Alcacer had stood on the same stage, radiating the quiet strength of a woman who had changed the conversation entirely. Her presence alone challenged decades of narrow beauty ideals, but her influence stretched far beyond her body. She was a voice, thoughtful, articulate, and unshakable, pushing fashion toward a future that embraced humanity in all its forms. Her victory wasn't just a personal win. It was a milestone for millions who had never seen themselves in the glossy pages of fashion. Bella Hadid had worn the title in the years prior, her reign marked by versatility and the gravitational pull of a true modern supermodel. She embodied transformation, slipping between eras and aesthetics like a chameleon with purpose. Her editorial mastery and runway dominance made her a global force, a blueprint for the digital age icon whose reach extended far beyond the runway. Her impact carved a path for creatives who blurred the lines between fashion, culture, and online identity. And twice in the span of just a few years, Adada Kek had claimed the honor with a story that resonated across continents. From refugee camps to couture runways, her journey embodied perseverance, beauty, and global interconnectedness. Her elegance was matched only by her advocacy, a reminder that models could be more than muses, they could be messengers. Each time she accepted the award, she carried with her not just her own story, but the stories of countless others who saw hope reflected in her stride. Together, these winners didn't just dominate fashion, they reshaped it. They challenged it. They widened the lens of who could lead and what leadership looked like. Through them, the award evolved, becoming not just a recognition of beauty or bookings, but a symbol of power, identity, and change. And then came a moment when all those shifts converged, when the stage was set for a new chapter. The lights rose on London's Royal Albert Hall, and the audience leaned forward. From the echoes of those who came before, a new name emerged, carried by momentum and destined for history. When Anok Yai's name was called, the room erupted, not in surprise, but in recognition. It felt inevitable. It felt right. Her victory was not just another moment in a line of winners. It was the culmination of a movement, the realization of what the past years had been sculpting. As she stepped into the light, draped in ivory satin, she didn't just join the lineage. She elevated it. She embodied the evolution of the industry, its struggles, its progress, its future. The story of the past 5 winners had been building toward this very moment. The night Anok Yai became Model of the Year and set a new standard for what it means not only to be a model, but to be a symbol of transformation. And in that instant, one era flowed seamlessly into the next, with Anok leading fashion into a new horizon. It goes without saying that each of the winners at the 2025 Fashion Awards is truly deserving. The story of Yai's discovery is one of the most widely told in recent fashion lore, which is fitting, since it harks back to when a picture of the then biochemistry student at the Howard University homecoming in 2017 went viral on Twitter. When Anok stepped on stage to accept her award, she grounded the moment with words that felt bigger than fashion. During her speech, she declared, "To all my little black girls who are watching me right now, your color is not a curse. The South Sudanese American model is a proud black girl." Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.